All right, let's wrap things up here as we end the day essentially at the lows. NASDAQ 1.08 to the downside. The S&P 500 about 0.75 to the downside. Again, both essentially at the lows coming off these FOMC minutes from the last meeting that suggested that there is a little more split as far as opinion as to what they want to do going forward. But that's why I brought this up, the Fed funds tool. Yeah, 88.5%. So there was a decent uptick there for September on the hold. So it is looking at this point anyways that they're going to do nothing in September. If you do go out to November and then December, there's still better part of 32.8 plus 35.5% chance that we get another quarter point before the end of the year, which if you do that quick math is nearly 70% chance of another quarter point hike to come from Fed Chair Powell. Anyway, here is how the S&P 500 ends the day. Tesla ugly, almost 3%. When all is said and done, it ended the session at the lows. I'll show you in a second here. Amazon 1.5%, Meta there 2%, Oracle 1.5%, Google, Nvidia, Broadcom, all it was AMD actually that led 3.5%. Both Nvidia and Broadcom though off the lows significantly into the close here. So maybe we get a little bit of a bounce tomorrow. That's MRO positive, as are most of the utility stocks and energy names at the end of the day outside of XOM, to name a few there, still downside. Oxy as well. Negative. Home Depot, 0.5% higher after their report yesterday. It was all about this, though. If you joined us at 2 o'clock, we discussed it briefly. I mean, it really was a bit of a non-event. The market ends up selling off into the close anyway, following the minutes that suggest, yeah, a little bit more divide coming into play as far as what Fed members are looking at, what they're talking about, what they're saying going into the September meeting. September 13th, remember, CPI, and then the following week, 18th and 19th, we get the next decision from Fed Chair Powell. I was going to bring up Tesla for you there to see. Right at the lows, essentially, it's still selling off here into the pre-market is Tesla. So this pullback continues. Notably strong here to end the day. TJX off their earnings report this morning that beat expectations. Nice day overall, 3.5% to the upside for TJ Maxx. Yeah, that HE got pretty ugly in a hurry there. Multiple class action lawsuits announced on Hawaiian Electric. They're going to have to talk about some financing restructuring with their debtors to come through. So definitely one to have a look at tomorrow. A little bit light on the earnings board tonight. You mentioned Cisco. You'll talk about a little bit coming up here. Not sure if it's out yet, but
no, I don't see it yet.
Yeah, we're past all the big ones, I guess, for the week.
Yeah, thanks, Brendo. It's nice to be here. I like this desk. This is a new show for us, and we're proud to have it on one more time every single day at 4 o'clock. We will be doing the after show, and today, again, it's Mr. Michael Nas. Let's throw up those topics if we get a chance to do that, and we will first talk about our market recap. Brendan just did a great job. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a deeper dive just into maybe some unique or interesting sectors that might have popped off today, or in the other way around there today. So here we go. Shout out to Trade Ideas. We got this going. I've got Cisco up right now. If it does hit, I'm looking for these right now and see if there's anything going off on that right now. I don't see anything, so we will wait for Cisco to come through. Look at Nat Gas today. So UNG, another day today, down 2.65% for UNG. Not a great day for them, and we can zoom in, zoom out on all this, but Nat Gas, big time movement to the downside as we are getting, update contact? No, I don't even know what that means. Trade Ideas, get out of here. This is what we talked about before. We are not. Bye-bye, freezing. Okay, I'll load that back up in a minute. So let's just go quickly over to Cisco real quick. Shout out to Rob. We may need an update on that. There goes Cisco. Nice downside move here. $52 coming into play on Cisco. So get out of here, Trade Ideas. Now you want to load? Move over here. It's not Trade Ideas' fault. This computer, I think, is a little bit slow. But there's Cisco coming in right now. Let's check out what those numbers are for Cisco coming in. We'll use Benzinga for that one and get some news on this to see where is Cisco coming through right now. So I don't even see it on here. Let's just type in the symbol real quick. CSCO for these guys, see if it comes out and what their earnings were exactly. Here it is right here. So Cisco, quarterly earnings, 114 a share, which beats 106. So that's great. That's an upside move of 7.5%. Year over year, 37% increase of earnings per share from the same period last year. 15 billion in sales, 15.2 overtaking 1505. So I don't know why we're heading to the downside here, but that is the report for Cisco. So as the name continues to go, we'll continue to watch out for that. But let's go back over and start to recap some of these earnings, or sorry, some of the market movers that we did see here today. So UNG, again, we did want to talk about that. You know, a nice move down here over the last couple of days. Those of us that were getting a little bit excited about this move into $4 or into $8, now you've pulled right back into the 50-period moving average again on this play. So if you could see here, today's play, not much happening at the end of the day, but the drop does start early from $7.16 down to $7 here on UNG. Nat Gas can't get out of the way. It's the right season now for Nat Gas. Let's see if there is some seasonality in this trade as it's pulling back. I'd say you look at this $6 bottom, held. We've seen oil as well. Let me get the oil trade here for you. Where are we? Well, we can look at OIH if you want, the Oil Services Index, or for me, XLE, wrap them all into one here with the energy sector. So today, XLE down just 1%, making that move off 90. That's been a good level for the XLE. Let's just zoom this back out again. We talked about it breaking basically year highs up here when we had Michael on last week, and then now it's faded back out. I still like this long down here near the 200-period moving average, which is $82. Just looking to see if anything else is hit. Looks like it's just going to be a nice post-market mover here for Wolf moving around as well. We can have a quick look at this name. Nice downside move here for Wolf Speed, getting down to $47. Watch out for a $42 area there for Wolf, as that's fallen back down a lot right now and continuing to go. Not too many other movers here. Oh, Stone just out right now. Stone with a nice move back up to the upside. This is a Kathy Wood name. Stone taking out some levels. Look for it to take out right now 14. Actually, let's just call it $15. That recent high for STNE, as there it comes, coming back out and now fading out just a little bit off that high. So we'll check out what Stone has to say in a minute when those earnings do come out. But you can see here on the board, we're doing a little bit of market recap. The XLF, the only one that held out today. And we can look at JP Morgan. I believe that held out. We didn't look at this on the main show, but yeah, it did hold 50. So 150 breaks there near the end of the day, but you do get a hold there on JP Morgan. So I still feel like I like this level. There is a warnings out here by Fitch to, possibly downgrade the whole banking sector. 143.40 there, the bottom for JP Morgan. Could grab that back if it comes back in. I still like BAC. We've talked about this. Again, sub 30. I like this as a short against 30. Let's not forget about that. I actually had this as tomorrow's trade, or today's trade yesterday, and then missed it. Make your own notes, man. $30 downside, nice trade. And those of you that have watched this closing show, we've talked about this on BAC. It is Warren's biggest holding there. So we'll have to pay attention on the banking side, Berkshire, and not WFC anymore. It's Bank of America, 8.5% stake, or 8.5% of his holdings are in Bank of America. And as long as it holds $30 there, I like that. It's not a holding. I like it as a resistance level there. So short it until we break back above 30. Okay, let's go to our next topic. And this is something that I think has really helped out some of these tech industry and some of these tech names today, and that is not just today, but I wanted to review the layoffs in the tech sector that we've seen so far. So let me call up this graphic, and here it is right here. It's going to be a little bit blurry. I'm going to figure out a better way to do this, but so far, in total of 2022, we have 243,000 layoffs. Again, these are in the NASDAQ 100 companies. This is by Jefferies, so 243,000 layoffs in 2022 in total. Year to date already, so we're just entering the fourth quarter now, obviously, as we're hitting September, October, November, December, so even more months to come. 342,000 right now on the layoff side of things. So we've seen it. We saw it with Meta and Zuckerberg talking about this being the year of efficiencies, but there it is right now. A lot of layoffs early, not much right now, but earlier on in the year, big numbers, you know, the most we've seen, but now you're getting a little bit lighter. Let's see if they do pick back up here into the close of the year for tech layoffs. So that's a little bit of trader talk happening right now. Watch out for some tech names coming through there. I also did want to talk about here the next topic. We'll go to that right now. This was the next piece of trader talk that I wanted to go over, and that was talking about big days by month, right? And so we're looking at what a big day is basically 1% or more in the SPY on a move on the day. So let's check out here this graphic that we've managed to pull out, and it's right here. I mean, okay, 1% gain, 1% decline, right? S&P 500 daily moves by month. So you're going to see here in October, 14% of the days. So there's roughly 20 trading days, right? So when you're seeing 10% down here, that is generally what we're looking at here is about 2 to 3 days per month. But you can see here in October coming out, that's been one of the most active months. And then right here as well in September up to 11.2. Look, man, it's pretty consistent. I just wanted to show you that we are going to get a couple more active days coming through. And right now in August, we've already had 2 days or more declines in the S&P 500. Today we weren't down 1%, were we? If we were, that would add to this. So volatility right now spiking, which gives us a lot of great opportunities to trade. So that's what I wanted to get at. And if you're going to see, we are going to have Michael Noss come on in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to show you that, you know, October is a pretty busy month. So is August and September. And we've already matched these days here in August, only being halfway through the month. So that's interesting to me. You're going to get an outlier in August if we continue to get these moves. And guess what? Nvidia's coming. So that's going to be a 1% move, I think, anyways. Whether or not it's in the S&P 500 or not, I feel like it will drag that down, coming down through. So that's just a little bit of trader talk, just some things that I'm looking at here. Look, it's very important as traders that we look at volatility and where some of these moves have come from. So, you know, that's an interesting little point there to discuss. Let's go over to our next topic right now, of course, as we hit that, and that's going to be earnings season. Let's go through Cisco right now. So we did talk a little bit about them. I'm not seeing too much hit. That's the wrong news story there. I'm not seeing too much hit here for Cisco. Here it is right in. We've talked about their earnings misses here. Here it is right here. So this is the big thing. Adjusted EPS 401 to 408 versus 404. So that's kind of like yawn, man, pass the buck. Like that's right in line as expected. And then their revenues between 57 and 58.2 versus, there it is right there. Revenues guiding lower now. So that's not good, creating some downside pressure here again for Cisco. So thank you so much for that. Benzinga. Let's go over one more, STNE. These are just the names I wanted to go over here into the close. All right, so they don't have it on Benzinga yet, but I do believe that Stone has reported STNE. Let's just go over this quickly to see what they're doing. 1360 here, up and down and right where we landed. So we'll find out more about Stone, but not super exciting right now. The name that really caught my eye, of course, was Wolf. So let's just check out Wolf again here, that came in. Wolf Speed. Of course, nice downside move there to $47 and still holding some of that bottom. We'll check out a 42 bottom there on Wolf to see if that comes out one more time again on Wolf. I'm going to open up the chat here. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining. We'll do a little bit of a roll call. If you are in the chat again, thank you so much for being part of our team here. As I know a lot of you are, been a busy day and you've heard my voice a lot today, but we're going to do this after show. I'm going to have Michael Noss come on Monday, Wednesdays. We have Daniel Shea coming on Thursdays, and I'm working on a few big names coming the other couple days there. But for now, we had a great day yesterday, and it was just Thank you so much to Racer, Ty Alexander. I know you were there today in the chat, and you said we had a cheat code on Nvidia, and we are going to review some of those, man, as we come up with Coinbase, and then a trade review with Nvidia near the end of the day. We'll talk a little bit about AMC as well. Yeah, we're still rocking. Shout out to Bears vs. Bulls, rocking to Beard. What's up? Thank you so much, Dream Ride Music. music. You are awesome as well, and everybody there. If you can help me out just by simply hitting the like, I'll keep this chat down here so I'm not ignoring it, that it's going to be down there here for us. You know, we can just make this a little bit smaller so that we can see the chat going through. But yeah, that's that so far here. Wolf downside. Let's just check out if anything else is moving there today. AVT moving a little bit, but not a whole heck of a lot, as we'll check that out here coming through. Wolf SWTX moving. Again, Springworks Therapeutics moving around, but not a whole heck of a lot right now. So yeah, not much happening on earnings side of things as we go. But hey, let's go. Let's talk some more trader talk. Let's hit this. And bring on our friend Michael Noss. Mr. Noss, how are you doing today on this lovely Wednesday?
So far, so good. I came into the day a little bit long, but we cleared the decks on most of that. So I feel like I have a clear mind going into my scanning tonight and into tomorrow.
How much do you look at expected volatility? Like if you see in the pre-market maybe that you know, the market's up or down, maybe that 1% that we showed those graphics. Do you change your mindset a little bit, or do you still look at levels, and if they hit, they hit, if they don't, they don't? How does that work for your sort of pre-market setups?
I am looking at volatility. I generally measure it via ATR, which is just stands for average true range, how much the stock normally does. Because I even as a swing trader, I don't want to buy a stock that's already up, you know, as much as it's going to do on a day, or down as much as it's going to do on a day. I just want to, you know, like everyone, get a good price on everything. So for me, I do, just not on a percentage basis, on an ATR type basis.
I'm going to add that ATR to my list because I make this sticky note, and I'm just looking at key levels and then news kind of stuff. Checking out average true range, very important. We've had some big movers recently, and I sort of left it to you what you wanted to talk about. We have U.S. steel moving around, of course, which has been a thing, and then the U.S. dollar recently moving around, affecting some of these big tech names as well.
Well, yeah, I think those are related. So I have a chart of UUP, which is the dollar ETF right here. And it's kind of hard to see because this range has been going on for some time, but we actually broke out of this range a little bit today. So really strong move from the dollar off the lows. And you'll see that this strong move in the dollar actually corresponded with weakness that we saw in the markets, because the dollar and markets are generally weak. But so when I was talking about that and I was talking about steel, what was very interesting to me is that steel, even if you take United States Steel out of the equation, is holding up really, really well. And you would think, I'm not a macro economist, but you would think that a higher US dollar would actually be worse for these US-based steel companies, because they would export that steel and they would have to sell in dollar prices, so people would buy from them less if the dollar is higher. But steel is holding up really, really well. Even you got Steel Dynamics, STLD, doing very well in this tape. Some other kind of steel names, you talked, I think, about Nucor earlier in the show today. I think that one's holding up really well. So I like when stocks are doing well in situations that they quote unquote shouldn't, because that means that if you know, if everything improves for them and they've been holding up well when everything wasn't doing well for them, you would expect to see these bases, like I'm showing here in STLD, resolve higher. And if it does, this is an overall really, really bullish long-term chart. If I bring in the weekly chart, it's been doing phenomenally. Maybe we get a little bit of a breakout and a continuation. If the dollar hits its head at this resistance we're at, pulls back a bit, might be time to buy some steel stocks.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I'm long Nucor here, and if you come over to my screen, guys, it looks very similar to everything that you're showing. Nucor really basing out. Nice earnings play here. Jumps up right to the top of the zone of 175. Has faded back just a little bit. A nice little move here at the end of the day, pulling back $2 on that U.S. steel news as it started to fade out a little bit. But I was wondering, what do we think about X? I don't know if you've heard anything about this. This is going to be an Elon-related idea here. do you believe in stuff like that? Like maybe this is just getting a bid because of the symbol change. Quite frankly, I think it's fun to talk about that. But I don't know. I never heard of U.S. Steel getting bought out, and all of a sudden this whole name change of X, and then it turns over. In your analysis, I'm assuming that you don't go too much on social media posts or anything like that. Being a CMT, of course, we're just playing off key levels.
Yeah, I'm mainly looking at the chart, but I did have a friend send over some videos of the Cleveland Cliffs CEO,
Yep.
and I guess he's a pretty wild dude. Now, his stock hasn't been doing the best, and none of these have been doing phenomenally. They're in like 10-year-long bases, but I guess this guy is a pretty wild kind of a guy. So, he's said some really brash words against short sellers. He's done some crazy things in the past. So I don't think sending United States Steel an unsolicited bid is the craziest thing this guy's ever done, especially considering that, market cap wise, X and CLF are kind of the same. So to me, it may even be a joke bid because, you're going to buy a company about the same size as yours. It seems a little weird to me.
Yeah, it does for sure. And I don't know where we're going with all of that, but definitely interesting to trade. But I want to say thank you, Michael Noss. Again, we're going to wrap it up here. It's just a quick hit. That's what we like to do on this after show. So thank you so much for bringing up your analysis there on the US dollar versus steel. And we'll look to have you back on the main show Friday. Are you in Friday for us there at 8:30?
So not only am I in Friday, I'm actually in the office next week. And I just wanted to tease a bit. If everyone goes to trade-ideas.com,
Perfect.
we may have launched something really cool this afternoon on there for everyone to check out.
I mean, hook a brother up, man. I mean, I should be knowing about this. We'll talk more about that offline. Thank you, Michael Noss. Head to the website to find out all of that. A little sneak preview. Thank you, Mr. Noss. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you for having me. Talk to you soon.
Ciao, ciao. All right, that was Steel Talk, as you could see there on the board. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's go over to our next topic, and it's going to be a good one. It's a stock blitz. All right, so it's Coinbase time, baby. Let's have a quick look at Coinbase. And again, the thing about Coinbase is we've talked about that over and over on the main show. Coinbase today, I'm going to call up my sticky note. Why? Because that's just what I do. We looked at Coinbase today, and I thought Coinbase actually had a great opportunity. And if you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much for doing that. But make sure that you do find me here. It is the most clicked on link for Trader TV Live. I should hit this promote button, and it's going to cost me money right there. We want to talk about Coinbase today. I thought great news about the futures trading coming through, and they finally got Nvidia, crypto, talking about that today. Big win. I thought we'd see a nice green day, and we wanted to go long off of 79. So let's go over and have a quick look at Coinbase today. Here's why we like 79. I mean, it's a nice pullback in here on the daily. You did have an earnings candle happen and not much going on with them through earnings, but I really like 79. I mean, here's a 15 period chart on them as well. Holding. Let me just call up my trades today so we can have a look at exactly what I did on Coinbase. Now look where we ended the day. $79, no surprise there. But as Coinbase came back in, I was actually really surprised here. Let me see if I can zoom this back out a little bit, that there's the move from yesterday, 79.30. I was basically playing off this as a bottom and just thought that we could hold out for this. We did get a little bit of bump up. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit, you'll be able to see that we did take some profits on these 79s, but it never really got going. So we just kept getting out 79.40. I mean, that take right there is 79.10. So it's like 30, 40 cents at most we could get. Then all of a sudden it bumps right back up into the 50 period. And the thing is, look at this 50 period. It really respected it all the way down. So when it gets bumped up there, unfortunately, we have to start taking some out in the 50s and 60s. Then it came back in, gave us that 10 again. We got some more out, but you could see we're still on a declining motion there for the 50 period moving average. And then eventually when it took down 79, we got out. So Coinbase will be a net. I think it was a small loser for me, a little scratch day. We did finish our day at the highest spot, but Coinbase definitely today not moving as much as I thought it would there. And we'll see tomorrow if it can still hold out that. But considering that the NASDAQ was down today, for Coinbase to sort of hold its bid, actually not bad, holding 78. So we'll see if it can hit that again. You can see the volume today on Coinbase down to 78. So I like that trade. I think that it does open up some opportunities to go long and not be afraid now, because they have now instituted futures trading, and they do have that ability, and they do have the approval stamp there from the futures board to go ahead and trade that. And I think that it was something like 80% of Bitcoin trading is actually happening in the derivatives market. So I actually like that play there for Coinbase. I know I've sort of talked negatively about them in the past, but I still think Coinbase does have a good opportunity to go on, make some profitable trades there in Coinbase, especially off $78. So we'll see if that does hit tomorrow for coin. Okay, let's go over something else. I want to thank Bears vs. Bulls for this idea, because we did get some super chats throughout the day. So I do want to give, I'm not sure how I can highlight this better, but I do want to, maybe I can just cut it. Hold on a second. Not that, don't show that for a second. Let me see if I can just get some super chats from the main channel right here. So here we go. Let's just do this quickly. Today we had some from Chris McGinnis. Thank you so much for the super chats again, talking about Yell Q. We'll look at that in a minute. Sweetie Pies, thank you so much for, again, the $2. SPCG, SPGC, what a great day that was for them. 5 memberships from Nita Stonk. Thank you so much for that as well today. New member Mike McAttack right there talking about Tupperware. Another new member, Alex Enzo, talking about Brendan being the GOAT. So again, any super chats, I don't have a problem bringing you guys up as well. What's up to my wife? Hey, my wife, Bears vs. Bulls. Oh, that's pretty nice right there. There she is. We do have practice tonight. I'll be home for that. And by the way, how was Barbie? I know I've spoken to you again. They went to see Barbie today, my wife and my daughter, while my son and his friend went to see Haunted Mansion by Disney. Let's go over Disney real quick now. I don't know how that movie was. I know it didn't do well in the box office, but it had some decent reviews, some big actors in there. Interested to see what people's thoughts on that was. But if you're going to look at the daily chart here for Disney, it's pretty much dead right now. They did have earnings. It got up to $92. It's kind of funny because I talked about not buying any of these dips. I did buy some Disney recently. I bought some at 90 on this, when I didn't think it was going to break lower. It did break lower, and we were able to buy some more at, like, I think it was 86 or 87. So we're right here right now. But you're going to go all the way back to post big movement up, where you went all the way to 122. There was a lot of action in the market in the new year, of course. Bob Iger came back. Then you have this little bottom there at $84. I feel like if you break that, we go back to COVID lows of 80, which is not great. Not much working for Disney right now. Actors strike, writers strike, not great. ABC, Jimmy Kimmel can't get back on the air. So I just feel like there's a lot of mishits now. I don't know how good sitcoms or anything are, but I know Hulu's taking a hit. They've also had to delay Handmaid's Tale and a few other big shows as they wait for actors and writers to get back on it. It's a union thing. So I don't know when that's going to get resolved, but Disney, again, a great name to look at coming back in. And of course, on the other side, you have Mattel, which was going crazy with Disney, with Barbie going back up to the upside. And there it is right here. What Barbie? Nice upside move from 17 up to $22 here. If we could see the screen, Fabian will show that real quick now. 21, 21.50, kind of barcoding right now. I would prefer the short in this name now, just because I feel like you've seen it now. We've seen all the sales come through. What's Mattel going to report? They sort of already guided higher on this Barbie news, so we'll see about $22 coming into play for Barbie. 42 Barbie titles coming?
Not Barbie, like all from their
from everything. So just Fabian talking to me here that there's a green light to go on more production for some Mattel names coming through. So yeah, maybe Mattel's a buy down here. We'll find out more about that. But let's go over one of the best trades. Look, today was a hell of a great day to trade. Some of you, might have had whoa, I did previous topic. There it is. Let's go to the next topic, trade review. It's going to be Nvidia. So let's go with a little bit of a stock blitz now. Maybe we have to have one called trading review there, because we sort of did a little bit of stock blitz with Coinbase. That wasn't really a blitz, but this trade with me for Nvidia today. Wow. Look. Trading's tough, right? We've talked about that over and over again. Unfortunately, now I'm going to get these crazy wicks in here. Let me see if I can just edit this out real quick for this one candle. What is this saying the low is? 406. Funny guy. I wish that was the case for Nvidia. There it is. And then let me just bear with me just for 1 second. Otherwise, I don't get this edit going through. The low here, 430. I'm just putting in fake lows now just to get this candle back going. Unfortunately, when I switch platforms here, I have it set so that our charting, especially on the main show, will sort of take out D prints that are outside of certain ranges. But unfortunately, when you flip over to a new station, which I'm at right now, some of those wicks do come back in. So I do apologize for that. But let's go over some Nvidia trading right now. I still feel it's so important, and now it's 4:31, so we are getting on the show, but I feel like it's so important to have some of this. You got to have some heart, and you got to have some passion, and you got to have a bias one way. And I think that's where the sticky note comes into play for me. That's why just putting on very specific names. I only traded maybe 5 or 6 names today. Although Nvidia was not on the sticky note, we had AMD on there, but AMD sort of went down early, and Nvidia was holding some of these bids. So we shorted at the beginning here at 442. We're able to take some out at 441. That's a nice dollar play, but let's just zoom in and talk about what we did early on this. Then we re-shorted it again. So again, take the dollar, not everything out. It did crash down. I don't know why we didn't take more out down here, man, for $5. Came back in, then we took the L and we felt like, uh-oh, that's not great. But then we re-shorted it and then we learned from our lessons. So we were down on Nvidia or slightly down on Nvidia. Remember, that's a dollar win and that's a dollar loss. So that's about flat, but probably on re-up shares, so negative. Then it shorted at 443. Now this is the thing about trading. You're not going to be right, but you have to find levels. And when you see levels, you trust them. And for me, we are going to give it to that top wick. So this re-short at 444, that top wick right there is 444.65. So give it a little bit higher than that, 75 cents worth of risk. So there our first out is 442.50. So that's $1.50. So we're already 2 to 1 on that risk. Then it starts to come down and we take a 441. Why are we getting out there? Because again, just like we see resistance, we see support there at 441. Take it out. Our risk to reward now is already quite big. Comes right back up. We like the short again. Let's short this name. Bang, 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 all the way to the downside as these levels start to break. We always are going to take it out. We learn from our mistake. So right there, that's a 443 short. That's out at 439. Man, we got to put the bangs on here, Fabian. That's a good trade right there. That's $4. Then this move is 435.60, breaking some of those lows back down. So you think we're done trading this at this point after taking $8? Nah, we let this thing float back up. We still did have this trade on. Then we averaged it in. Came right back, thank you. Came right back into VWAP again. For some reason, there was a wick down here to 436. I don't know why it's not. Oh, probably because we edited it. So that was a good one. We got some more pieces out, but look at that reload. Shout out to my friend Brian Shannon over there with his VWAP. Get that trade at VWAP. I've been trading VWAP for 20 years. Nice move back into that name as we knew we wanted to go short it. There it is. Take back down. Thank you, everybody here on the chat, man. We're right there. Yeah, he is on it. Fabian is on it. Thank you so much for smart, safe investments. Look, I'm not going to call people out. Other people called traders out on our platform earlier. All these ticks that I'm showing you on Nvidia, that's my heart. Those are real trades, man. There's no exposing anything here. These are real trades. We've had people come to our desk. I'm sitting at the same trade desk that we've been at now for 4 years on this show. I'm here to make money, and we're here to have fun and educate, entertain, and inform you. And that's what we did here on Nvidia. Let me go back to this real quick as we'll wrap this up as it's a trade review. We used to do trade of the days. Maybe we could bring that back on the main show. But you can see here, it comes back up, and we're like, okay, let's reload. So we reloaded again, but look where our outs were going to be, 441. So we're just reloading this here, trying to take about 50 or 60 cents worth of risk. We did get stopped out here a couple times, but look what happens. Bang, we get back into this trade right there off these highs. Look, thank you. Look at this short, 441.20. That's our out, 441.80. That's 60 cents worth of a trade. The first take on this, 441, we're getting out at 440. That's $1 right there. So we're already risk to reward 1 to 1. Boom, bring it down. You thought the dollar club was over. It was not. We take out another piece right here at the same level. And then look what happens into the end of the day. It winds up coming back in, and we could have had an even bigger trade, but unfortunately we exited right there when we thought we were breaking back up. And not only that, we wanted to make sure we were out of this trade before those imbalances hit at 350. It's Nvidia, and it is your trade of the day. Thank you so much. There's the bang bangs right here. Shots fired, Ozan. Thank you so much to Dan Emmons, man. Beautiful day pressing lower on the NASDAQ. I couldn't agree with you more, man. If we just call up the triple Qs and we'll just do this one more time. I do want to have you on, Dan, if you want to come on, because you've been talking about days high, days low, things like that, intraday, opening highs, opening lows. There's that first push on the NASDAQ. We shorted Nvidia instead of the market, but as long as you can stay under some of these levels, which we came right back at 2 o'clock to these levels of 366, failed to break, then it was a downside move, ending the day at the lowest spot, the NASDAQ down 1.15, and actually, this is an aftermarket move now, even heading lower, I'm assuming on the back of our friend, shout out to Sharif. That's not Cisco, CSCO is Cisco. Man, sometimes they get you with these different ticker names. Yeah, Cisco down again in the aftermarket, down 0.21, hitting 51.41, but that's after, remember, we're at 53.50 right now as this market continues to move. Maybe it's better that I show these charts, actually not those ones, on trade ideas, because like I said, this is why I don't want to log into ours too often here at the end of the day, because we do turn off at 4:15. So let's just see CSCO, what price we're at right now. Yes, so quote's working, chart's not. 53.30. Actually, Cisco now up right now in the aftermarket. Great battle back for Cisco. So we'll find out about the Qs. Right now, they must be going upside as our charts were a little bit. Yeah, there it is. So nice little move back upside there for the triple Qs. But hey, what a great day to trade. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you do hit the like. Let's do a quick roll call. If you stay around to the end of the day, you are going to get a roll call right now. Thank you, Dan Emmons. Again, Matt Carnes, thank you so much for joining me as we go. Bears versus Bulls as well. Obviously, we have the best moderator in the business, so shout out to you, Bears. We have 1,700 watching. Thank you so much for sticking with us into the close. Todd Carroll, first time being here. Thank you so much. Share the stream as we go. But hey, man, smart, safe investments, everybody, thank you so much, man. We're going to be here every single day to review some big trades. If anything does happen here in the aftermarket, I'm your guy for that. We'll have breaking trades, and I'm going to review some of these trades as we go as well. And check out this cool graphic. I don't know if I should have hit that or not. I don't have any breaking news for you, but I thought that was pretty cool. A big shout out to Fabian. And not only that, man, we do have Benzinga Pro hitting right now at all times. So, if anything comes in here, there's Stone. Revenue again. Oh, here's their numbers. Decent numbers here for Stone, it looks like today, coming through. So year over year, all green, all beats, all across the board for STNE. So a nice little movement there for Stone. Looks like up 3% right now, STNE. But let's just double check that before we go. I don't want to break something and then tell you that it's not up. So there's Stone. Yeah, nice little close there of 1338, now up to touches 14s there today. Actually touches 1450 as we go. But once again, man, thank you so much for joining us here today. And it's been my pleasure to host this show. We're going to keep on going, man. I'm into my 6th hour, I think, live. But thank you so much for everybody joining. I'm Sean Katina. This has been the after show. You've now found it. Make sure you come back every single day. So for everybody here at Trader TV Live, looks around, it's just me and Fabian and Kat. So shout out to you guys as well. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, empty floor right now. Maybe Obi's there. He needs to stay. Oh, it's golfing day. On the floor, so nobody's here right now. Obviously, I'm doing this show, so no golf for me. We have Little League practice, so shout out. Give your family a big hug and kiss. You never know. And a big shout out to everybody there in Hawaii. Big hearts up for you. I mean, I hope everyone's families are safe over there as that tragedy continues. We'll see tomorrow with Hawaiian Electric. Too bad about that, as you can tell. I'm an emotional guy, but shout out to everybody that's out there. Stay safe. And for everybody here at Trader TV Live, join us tomorrow at 8:30, where guess what? I'll be back on the air with some bangers. Check out the sticky note as well. For everybody, we're gone. I'm Sean. Ciao.